And if you think like, oh, don't put this on the internet, no problem. Like, don't have to, do anything with it. And you can email me, and I don't have to post it if you're like, oh, that was weird, or anything like that. So, cool. Whoop. All right, we're rolling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. This one is 360.
Oh, okay, I get
So
that.
it has both sides, and yeah. What was I gonna say? Did you have something that you wanted to, like, any kind of factual thing that we can? It could be anything, honestly. Maybe it could even be, what's your favorite movie? What was the last movie you even saw?
Well, I'll also do something different. Probably you haven't heard this one. I have Parkinson's disease.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. Here's pretty
I'm open
rough
about it.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But
I was diagnosed 10 and a half years ago.
okay.
I've had deep brain stimulation therapy done.
Okay.
With stimulators inside of my brain.
Cool.
And
I've never heard of that.
I have a stimulator right here in my chest. I just had the battery replaced last Friday. 2 weeks ago this past Friday.
Nice.
And
you've seen an improvement?
Well, the other one wasn't rechargeable. Wearing out my settings were very high. So this one is a rechargeable. It's lasted 15 years. And I'm 77, so it's only
Yeah. Well, the probability is a little low, but I forgot to ask, what's your name?
Bob.
Bob. Mike. Nice to meet you. B.O.B.
There you go. How tough can it be?
It's one of the easier ones. Cool. Would you the deep brain therapy? We can talk about that. Is that I've never heard of it.
Well, it's called deep brain stimulation. DBS. You can search on that and you'll find all kinds of information.
Sure. Yeah.
But basically, I had it done here in Florida. I had it done at the University of Florida, the Excel Institute.
Okay.
And they're a wonderful institute. They're a wonderful clinic for Parkinson's.
Okay.
And I had my right side done from my left side, because my left side was my primary side. A year and a half later, I had the right side done, and it started to catch up.
Okay. So your left side is your primary side.
Yeah. And I'm also left-handed.
Yeah. Me too. What was I going to say?
It helps with the tremor.
Okay.
That's what the DBS is for.
Okay.
It reduces stiffness and tremors. And if I didn't have my medicine in me now, and if I turned this thing off, about 30 or 40 minutes from now, you wouldn't know it was the same person. I would be
shaking.
Remarkably different.
Okay.
Remarkably different. You'd say, wow, that's the same guy.
Yeah. So, this is what I'm doing.
It's an open book.
Yeah, cool. Well, and what I'm doing is like, what we're doing is drilling into an idea and being like, how do you know it's true? You know, how confident are you that you're primarily left brain, let's say?
Well, it's an interesting question, because if I apply that to Parkinson's disease, it's very difficult to diagnose.
Right. How do you
know you have Parkinson's? So how do I know I have Parkinson's?
Yeah, we could go with that.
How do you know that's true?
Sure.
And the answer is that a doctor checks all of your various symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
There's no medical test for it, no blood testing. So what they do is it's behavioral. So they
listen to your
walk
symptoms,
and they have you go like this while you're tapping your foot, and all kinds of different little things that you would never think that they were checking for Parkinson's. But they're looking for stiffness, they're looking for slowness, and so there's about probably 18 different symptoms of Parkinson's disease, and a neurologist checks them, and the difficult part of it, here's why it's a, how do you know it's true?
Mm-hmm.
Because the doctor, there are other things that mimic Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
And so they have to look at everybody has different symptoms of the 18 or so symptoms.
Yeah.
So everybody has a different combination, and to different degrees.
Okay.
So unless it's just like I walked in, sat down, the neurologist said to me, he had me walk and he had me do all these little things I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said to me, well, I'm sorry to tell you, you have Parkinson's disease. He said, but I knew that when you sat down. I said, wow, how did you know when I sat down? He said, because you have a classic stone face.
Ah.
One of the things with Parkinson's is that your parasympathetic nervous system is waning,
Mm-hmm.
dying. So, like sometimes I think I'm smiling, my head is registering I'm smiling on the inside, but my
your
face doesn't change.
Doesn't register. Yeah, or it's not
So
communicating
my
with
blood pressure is a bit low, pulse is slower, pupils don't dilate as quickly, all kinds of other things that affect it.
Well, and so I'm hearing you say that you are pretty confident you have Parkinson's.
Oh, I know I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years, I know.
Because doctors diagnosed you,
Yeah.
and there was tests that you ran, or they ran on you, and how confident are you that you have Parkinson's?
100%.
100%. Okay. Couldn't be wrong at this point.
No. Maybe it couldn't be wrong the first day I was diagnosed either. I mean, I had the classic tremor, I had the stone face, I had
all these, the
various
classic,
things.
let's say. You said there was other diseases. If you found out, that it was one of these other ones, like how much would change? I guess maybe, I don't know.
Well, it would change a lot. There's a thing called it was the disease that Spike had. Remember Spike? What's that called? Multiple system shut down.
Multiple system shut down.
Oh, that sounds bad.
It is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah. Multiple systems. Okay.
And there's other diseases. There's Parkinsonism means that they're not quite sure it is Parkinson's. So
in the neighborhood of
it's
Parkinson's.
in the neighborhood of Parkinson's, but they're not really sure.
Yeah, a friend of ours had that. It wasn't Parkinson's, but it was mimic Parkinson's. And he died from a fall, which was unfortunate, but he was having those kind of
But speaking of that, people who have Parkinson's usually don't die of Parkinson's. There are two major things that most of the time what people with Parkinson's die from.
Okay.
A fall, because your balance, that's one of the major symptoms of bad falls, and pneumonia. Because you develop swallowing problems.
I see.
That's in the parasympathetic nervous system.
Right.
Anything that you do that you don't have to think of is the parasympathetic nervous system.
Hey, I need to take notes.
So if you swallow, you have trouble swallowing. So in your sleep, maybe you're sitting back, and you aspirate, and eventually get pneumonia. And that takes some.
Yeah. Pneumonia, the flu, pretty bad diseases. Not as bad as COVID for killing people, but okay. Is there anything that you could learn that would make you more confident that you have Parkinson's?
No, I've been at this a long time. So I had tremor in my left hand for a good couple of years before I went to the neurologist.
Okay.
So I say nobody knows when they start because the symptoms are so mild. There's dystonia where your toes curl under and it gives you cramps in your feet.
Yeah, I hate those cramps in my feet. I don't have.
There's all kinds of things that
little signs.
Yeah. So you don't know when it starts, but I know everybody knows when they're diagnosed. That's when they measure it, how they measure it.
Well, yeah, yeah. I don't even know if it's even like a valuable thing to like question that you have it. I don't even think you should.
No.
Almost
No,
like
well,
in a way.
you said how sure. One of the questions was how sure are you?
Yeah.
There's the evidence, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and I think you have some pretty good evidence. I mean, you have doctors, who are professional diagnosed. Like they're like, oh my goodness, you have all of the classic signs. You self-reported.
That's how it works for me.
You went through tests. Yeah. Cool. Well, I don't know if you have any questions for me.
I'm fine.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just medical diagnoses are sometimes a little bit weird to try to talk about because it's like I don't think you should question that one too much. Because like if you didn't think you had it, you might be like, well, I don't need this like thing that's giving me benefits like stopping my tremors, or I'm not doing deep brain stimulation anymore. Like it's like, no, I think you should keep doing those things. But I appreciate you coming by and chit-chatting with me for a minute. And
a couple of kids who are waiting to see
yeah,
the seat's empty, they'll come back.
I don't like kids too much without parents, so I probably wouldn't interview them on camera, but I do get a little bit of kids swinging by and wanting to be on the internet.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
But you too. Yeah. And if you want to swing by another time and think of another thing, feel free. I'm around.
Have a good day.
You too.